Hey everyone, Musketeer. I'm going to be bringing you a gameplay over Torchlight, and with me I have Cybelwin. And I've actually never played Torchlight before, but I played Diablo 2, which is also a hack and slash game. And it's a really great game genre, but it's not very well known. And me and my buddy Cybelwin here, we used to play them all the time. They're very addictive. I mean, how do you feel about that genre?
Hack and slashes, I feel as though after D2 came out that almost there was none. I mean, you had Titan Quest, but Titan Quest as a whole, it had no multiplayer, it was mostly single player. And I really think with Torchlight coming out that it really has potential. Torchlight 2 coming out, it really has potential to be great. Torchlight 1 really was single player, and I mean, I'm sure Runic did not plan for it to be a huge game because honestly, you can't even repeat the final boss, which is kind of sad. But it's really an interesting game. I'm currently doing the Shadow Vault, which is an endless loop dungeon that you can just go through in the end game, and it's really awesome. Like, they give you quests, and you can still get items, and the monsters scale with your level. Like right now, I'm fighting a marked monster, and his name would be Rizengloth, and as you can see, his name is in gold, and he's a lot bigger than everybody else.
So then he's pretty much essentially like your boss in a way.
In a sense, yes. There's many bosses throughout the game, and many bosses usually drop a lot better gear, as there's different types of gear. Like, see how this guy dropped a blue item, an unidentified wand? That is a rare item. Usually, just like D2, you had you can identify items with scrolls. You don't have, sadly, you don't have Cain though to do everything. You have to pick up different scrolls. And as you can see, here's another mini boss. Usually they like to place 2 at a time, which I just killed him. And here's a legendary item that was dropped. Plus, it completed my quest.
And the thing I really love about hack and slash games is, in a lot of games, I feel like it takes too long to kill your enemies. Hack and slash games, you're just running through there, you're plowing through tens of enemies at a time, and it's really fun. You get that sense of like, I'm a badass because I can go through here and kill all these people. But at the same time, when you come across a boss, it actually poses a challenge, and you have to use strategy to kill them majority of the time. And I kind of want to get a background, because like I previously stated, I've never actually played Torchlight. So is the storyline, I mean, I've known hack-slash games where you just go in there and you kill and they don't have a storyline behind it, and I don't really enjoy that. So, I mean, give me a little information. What is Torchlight about?
Well, Torchlight starts out, and you see this, he's actually a friend of you, and his name's Ulrich. But see, Ulrich, he's searching for power, and like most people search power, they turn to the dark side. Within Torchlight, there's this power called the Ember, and it is set up by an almighty beast that controls the realm of the dark, which his name is Ordric. Ordric has set up multiple embers, and throughout the 35 floors that you descend, you see that Ulrich is taking each ember. With each ember that he takes, more or less, it gives Ordric power over him to mind control him. With each ember that he takes, he becomes more powerful, and he becomes more powerful, and he essentially loses his mind. So by the time you get to the bottom of the floor, the last one that he takes is it more or less it takes his mind, and he is tricked into sacrificing himself into Ordric, waking him up from a deep slumber. And so, in a sense, you're facing Ordric and Aldrich together, but it's only Ordric. So I guess you could say it's the simple, you want more power, so you turn to the dark side and you become corrupted.
I like that. I mean, I like a game with a good storyline, but when it gets down to the point, hack and slash is about you running through, like, repetition, essentially, is what makes hack and slash for me, where there's plenty of dungeons, plenty of monsters that you can just beat the crap out of and have a good time. And the reason I'm not getting the first Torchlight is because when I play hack and slash, I love to have a multiplayer. I mean, I have to play with friends to truly enjoy hack and slash game, which Torchlight 2 is supposed to have.
Yes, Torchlight 2 is, they've already stated that it will have a, well, multiplayer, and there's going to be 4 classes. So, it has more than this game had. This game only had 3 classes, which it had a warrior, more sense, a mage, and a vanquisher, which is what I'm currently playing. Vanquisher is like kind of like an assassin and a rogue in one, and a hunter in one, and he's really interesting. I like him. But in Torchlight 2, they're going to have a berserker, which is your basic barbarian. They're going to have an outlander, which is more or less a vanquisher, and then they're going to have an ember mage, which is a mage, And the last class we're going to have is an alchemist, or an engineer, my bad. And the engineer is going to be a mix of like a paladin and an alchemist, because he's able to create his own weapons while still having paladin abilities.
I like the idea that they have so few classes. I mean, I like the idea when games put in diversity for the classes, but sometimes I think they take that too far, and you can get that one really overpowered class that just dominates every other one, and you end up choosing that so you can be the best player. And when you have fewer classes, they can make them more balanced, and with that being said, more balanced means that if I choose a mage and you choose the Vanquisher, we are equally in skill in terms of how characters were developed.
Yes. Also, one thing that Torchlight that differs from most games is that there is no set items for a class. A class can use any type of armor, whether it be cloth, leather, plate, and more or less it gives you customization on however you want to play your class. Like a Vanquisher actually can be played as like a mage, a melee character, or a ranged character. I personally chose a range because I love range, and it's fun, I think. I like being able to stay from the distance and not get hurt too much and have my pet tank some of the tanking. So I think it's neat that, let's say that most paladins in D2, they had a shield and they had really good defenses, you know? But in this game, I could use a one-handed gun and use a shield if I really wanted. And I really think that it allows for balance and different ways to play characters.
Yeah, which is interesting. And like right now I'm watching this, and my first impressions is, one, he's playing on a 1080 pixelated screen. It's absolutely amazing, HD, everything, but the graphics are much better than Diablo's. But it hasn't lost that same gameplay that I love, where it's hectic. You're going in there, and I feel like you're almost spamming your moves. I mean, what kind of moves are you even using here?
Well, right now, I went with a really simple build. I mostly got most of the Vanquisher's passive abilities. But the main move that I'm using two moves. One, I'm using an arrow shot that bounces, and it also penetrates multiple enemies. So, if an enemy is bounced against a wall, if I miss, I can hit him on the rebound, as you saw there. The other ability I'm using, you also pick up spells throughout the game, and you can learn for any class. And I have a heal spell which heals me and all my allies. So really, I'm playing more of a simple build, but I have all the passive abilities to make that one move really good. Like, I one-shot almost everything with my simple move.
I like that. I mean, hack and slashes just have it's a different kind of game type than everything else. It's just something that it's so I don't even know how you want to say it. It's like the underdog of gaming. No one makes them, but when they do make them, they're not very good. There's only been a few very good hack and slash games, and off the top of my head, Diablo 2 and Torchlight were the top of their game. Nothing could beat them. And with Diablo 3 coming out in 2012, and then you have Torchlight 2 coming out soon, I mean, I feel like it's making a comeback, and I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, I know I'll be spending the majority of my time playing hack and slash games.
Yes, I feel as though after D2 really lost its mainstream feel, that there was nothing that came out. And it was kind of lost. Like, MMOs really became the top, and I enjoy slower gameplay, but as you said, there's just something about hack and slashes, like just running into the dungeon and taking on 15 monsters at once. You wouldn't have that in WoW. You really only take on like 3 or 4, and you have to be crowd controlling them. But in this game, you just run in face first, and if you have enough power, you take them out. If you don't, you fail. And that's really there's no healing. There's just potions, and it's all fast. It really shows like who the true gamers are. If you're not fast enough, you're not going to excel in hack and slash.
Yeah, and I mean, Ali, what are you trying to do now? Where's your objectives? I know you've already completed 2 quests, and when you go into a dungeon, do you have so many quests that you have to beat, and then the dungeon is over?
Well, they're more or less optional quests, but yeah, so they give you multiple quests throughout the dungeon, and right now I'm just trekking through it, and I'm looking for the final quest to kill, and it's another March Rare that the quest giver gives you, and whenever you beat a quest, he'll give you EXP based on, obviously, the quest, and it's really nice because it keeps it fresh, and it doesn't give a stale thing, it doesn't give you, I'm just doing this dungeon for nothing. It gives you a feel as though I'm doing this dungeon for a reason, like, I've got a quest, and the item they're going to give me is really good.
Yeah.
And
well, With the quests, are they mainly like you get experience rewards, or do you actually get items? Because I noticed your weapon, it's glowing, kind of like a bluish color. I mean, that looks really cool. How's that weapon effect come into play? Like, why is it glowing like that?
Well, throughout the game, there's different ways to add damage to your weapon. There's electrical damage, poison damage, fire damage, and ice damage. And different skills will give you that. And once you, depending on how much you have, is going to affect the color of your weapon. Since I have on all my weapons or all my items, I have the most ice damage added. It's going to make my item glow an ice thing, as you can see. And it's really nice because I mean, maybe if you want to have a fire build, would build more fire things, and then hence your favorite thing you would be that color.
And I really like how, I mean, I don't know if this is just coincidence, but when you shoot them, it kind of looks like they slow down too a little bit there.
Yes, I'm slowing them down with my ice, so that because I have an ice build, it will slow them down and they're not able to attack as fast.
I mean, this game looks incredibly fun, and it's single player. And hack and slash is just so much more enjoyable when you have a group of friends going through it. I mean, you can kill things 1,000 times faster, and it's more fun that way. And I mean, this game looks fun. I kind of want to go out and buy it, but we're actually coming to a close here pretty soon.
All right.
And this game looks like fun. We just wanted to give you guys a brief view of what this game's about. You can go check it out. It's pretty fun. Torchlight 2 is coming out. Keep that in your wish list along with Diablo 3.
The thing about Torchlight 2 that's really nice is it's $20.
Yeah, extremely cheap. So
it keeps a cost-effective gameplay that's a lot of fun.
and it's multiplayer. So
yes, it will be
guys,
multiplayer.
Keep that checked out. This has been a gameplay on Torchlight. I'm Musket.
I'm Cybelwan.
And have a nice day.